Governor Sanwo-Olu calls for government Nigeria's collaboration in nation building ahead of 64th independence celebration. World Bank OK's $1.5 billion loan for Nigeria. On the foreign scene, United States approves $567 million in military support for Taiwan. And in sport, Nigeria secures Africa's sole ticket to 2025 Under-19 Cricket World Cup. Now the details. I am Dele Agadumo. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has called for collaborative efforts of all Nigerians as the country pulls through the current economic situation ahead its 64th independence anniversary. Governor Sanwo-Olu stated this at a Thanksgiving service organized by the Ministry of Home Affairs as part of activities marking the National Independence Day. The governor, who was represented by his Deputy Chief of Staff, Sam Igube, described the theme of the celebration, Rebuilders of Broken Foundation, taken from Isaiah 58, verse 12, as apt, especially at this period when the country is going through challenges that have threatened its peace and development. Governor Sanwo-Olu urged Nigerians to exercise more patience with the present administration in the country as it contributes positively to the healing, renewal of the nation by being patriotic and showing love to one another.
In the journey of nation building, governments alone cannot bear the weight of transformation. Every individual has a role to play in rebuilding the foundations of our great nation. Responsibility for governance by the citizen must go beyond the ballot box to active participation through organized feedback mechanisms, lobbying, volunteering, and enterprise that shape the evolution of our physical spaces and our interaction with one another.
The governor also pledged his administration's commitment to addressing the immediate and long-term needs of the people by building critical foundations for socio-economic development of the state through transformational programs and projects in transportation, education, technology, health, among others, to drive the state's economic growth. Earlier in his sermon, Bishop Jeremiah Adeyemi of CMAG International Ministry urged Nigerians to be patient and in humility seek the face of God for a divine turnaround as the country pulls through the current rebuilding process.
And thank God the Lord has given us beautiful people in this country, and they are doing their best, and we are believing God that the Lord will continue to orchestrate their steps, be with them, give them wisdom, more knowledge, more understanding to take Nigeria to our expectation.
Prayers were offered for the President, Vice President, and their families. Governor Sanwo-Olu and family, members of the Lagos State Executive Council, residents of the state, peace and unity of Nigeria, Greater Lagos, other states, economy, security, among others. The event was attended by members of the State Executive Council, top government officials, party faithful, voluntary and religious bodies, representatives of security agencies, students, among others. Lagos State Government has inaugurated a state-of-the-art remote control system for primary health centers, PHCs, in Health District 1 to bolster healthcare delivery in the district as part of efforts to enhance healthcare at the primary level. Wife of the Lagos State Governor, Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, who spoke during the inauguration, said the system is expected to improve healthcare access for residents of Lagos Health District 1, particularly in underserved areas. Mrs. Sanwo-Olu, who was represented by the wife of the chairman, Dele Agadumo LCDA, Omolola Soyaolu, highlighted the significance of the remote control system, saying it enhances efficiency by providing real-time monitoring of PHCs and facilitate remote consultations between patients and specialists. She reaffirmed the Babajide Sanwo-Olu administration's commitment to leveraging technology to enhance healthcare delivery, particularly in rural and underserved communities. Lagos State government has urged town planning officers posted to various ministries, departments and agencies, MDAs, to play their role in ensuring adherence to physical development plans in project implementation. Commissioner for Physical Planning and Urban Development, Oluyinka Olumide, made this known in Alausa during an interactive meeting with town planning officers serving in various MDAs. He said physical planning is the bedrock of any meaningful development and should be respected by all MDAs of government, drawing their projects from the provisions of the master and model city plans. While urging the planning officers to make their impacts felt in their postings to provide the needed professional services and guardians, Olumide said the ministry would not relent in its efforts to provide the enabling environment for better performance. He expressed confidence that the interactive session, which would now be held every month to review activities and compare notes, would go a long way in repositioning physical planning in allied MDAs. The federal government has approved over 350 billion naira to support dams and expansion of facilities across Nigeria. Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Atiku Bagudu, who made this known, said the flooding is a dramatic change and a global challenge. Bagudu said a number of interventions have been approved by the president, in addition to numerous timely releases of federal allocation account money. He said the federal government allocated 3 billion naira to each state of the federation to mitigate the effects of flooding. Bagudu also revealed that the Federal Executive Council had approved 900 billion naira on the Kebbi component of the Sokoto-Badagry Highway. Now to the rest of the stories. The World Bank has approved 3 new loan requests totaling $1.5 billion in financing for Nigeria. The new financing includes $500 million for addressing governance issues that constrain the delivery of education and health. Hope GOV, $570 million for the primary healthcare provision strengthening program, Hope PHC, and $500 million for the Sustainable Power and Irrigation for Nigeria project, SPIN. The Hope Gov and Hope PHC programs combined will support the federal government in improving service delivery in the basic education and primary healthcare sectors, which are critical to improving Nigeria's human capital outcomes, while the SPIN project will support improving the safety of dams and the management of water resources for hydropower and irrigation in selected areas of Nigeria. The World Bank stated that the approval highlights its commitment to strengthening Nigeria's human capital and building resilience in the face of climate threats. The Ministry of Education says it is working to prevent another strike by the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU. The Director of Press in the Ministry, Folashade Birowo, who made this known, stated that everything is being done to prevent the strike from happening, as the minister has teams working already. ASU had last week given the federal government a 14-day ultimatum to resolve several lingering issues, failing which it would proceed on another strike. Among other things, the varsity lecturers are seeking the conclusion of the renegotiation of the 2009 federal government and ASU agreement based on the Nimi-Briggs Committee's draft agreement of 2021, as well as the release of withheld salaries due to the 2022 strike. 17 state governors have raised committees to implement the 70,000 naira new minimum wage for workers across the country. The 17 states which set up the implementation committees are Ogun, Ekiti, Sokoto, Kebbi, Osun, Enugu, Borno, Zamfara, Kogi, Kwara, Gombe, Kano, Taraba, Delta, Rivers, Jigawa, and Abia. The development comes as the federal government commenced payment of the new minimum wage to its 1.2 million workers last Thursday. The Accountant General of the Federation, Oluwatoyin Madein, in a memo to the Budget Office of the Federation, noted that the civil servants will be paid the minimum wage with effect from September. Now to foreign news. United States President Joe Biden has approved $567 million in new defense support for Taiwan. The White House, in a statement, said Biden had delegated the Secretary of State to direct the drawdown of up to $567 million in defense articles and services of the Department of Defense and military education and training to provide assistance to Taiwan. While the U.S. does not have formal diplomatic relations with Taiwan, it is Taipei's most significant international backer and arms supplier. China has repeatedly demanded Washington stop selling weapons to Taipei, which it claims as its territory. In April, the U.S. approved billions of dollars in military aid for Taiwan as China stepped up military and political pressure on the island. Beijing accuses Washington of meddling in its internal affairs with its support for the democratic island. In our sport, Nigeria has secured Africa's sole ticket to the International Cricket Council Under-19 Women's World Cup to be held in Malaysia in 2025. Nigeria was declared the winner of the Under-19 Africa qualifiers on Sunday after the final match against Zimbabwe was washed out due to a heavy downpour in the second innings. The final game, played at Gahanga International Stadium in Kigali, saw Nigeria win the toss and opt to bat, scoring 77 runs for the loss of 8 wickets in 20 overs. Meanwhile, President of the Nigeria Cricket Federation, Uyi Abata, in his reaction to the victory, said the qualification is a reward for the hard work and tenacity of everyone involved. The 2025 World Cup in Malaysia is scheduled for January 18 to February 2, 2025, with Nigeria in Group C alongside New Zealand, South Africa and Samoa. And that is our news at 10. Just before we go, always carry out proper and adequate checks on your vehicles before setting out. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration supplied 86,000 door furniture sets to 775 public schools? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, try the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has called for collaborative efforts of all Nigerians as the country pulls through the current economic situation ahead of 64th Independence anniversary. The World Bank has approved 3 new loan requests totaling $1.5 billion in financing for Nigeria. We're also told you that United States President Joe Biden has approved $567 million in new defense support for Taiwan. And in sports, Nigeria has secured Africa's sole ticket to the International Cricket Council Under-19 Women's World Cup to be held in Malaysia in 2025. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That is news broadcast compiled by Abiola Fagbolagun. I am Dele Agadumo. Good morning. Thank you for listening.